welcome to our deep dive into Baltimore's East Monument Historic District.
Oh, yeah, this is a cool one.
I was looking through this National Register of Historic Places registration form.
Yeah,
And,
these forms are amazing.
yeah,
I mean, it's like a super detailed history report for a place.
yeah.
Um, and this one's got all sorts of stuff,
I know.
dates, architectural styles, and even stories about the people.
Yeah, like who lived and worked there.
Right, exactly.
And we're talking Bohemian immigrants,
Oh, yeah.
a brewing industry,
Uh-huh.
marble houses.
That's right.
Like, how cool is that?
It really gives you a snapshot of how this working class neighborhood evolved over time.
Yeah.
The period we're focusing on is from 1867 to 1926.
Okay.
And the district covers about 328 acres.
So that's a pretty good chunk of land.
It is a good size.
So let's start with those Bohemian immigrants.
Okay.
The form tells us they started settling in East Monument in the late 1860s, coming from the region we now know as the Czech Republic. So these folks were escaping political oppression.
Right, they were.
And hoping to build a better life.
Exact.
And East Monument became their new home.
Yeah, they built St. Wenceslaus Roman Catholic Church.
Oh, wow.
Which became like a central gathering place for the whole community.
Really?
Yeah, and it was super important for them to keep their culture alive.
I can imagine.
They had Czech language sermons, school instruction was in Czech.
Wow.
They had active Sokol societies.
Local society.
Yeah, they were gymnastic organizations, but like with a twist.
Oh,
They were all about promoting physical fitness
uh-huh.
and keeping Bohemian traditions alive.
So it wasn't just a gym?
No, it was a cultural thing, too.
Wow.
They even helped her found a Czech language newspaper.
What?
Yeah, it was called the Telegraph.
It's amazing how they held on to their heritage
It is.
while building a new life.
Really speaks to the power of community.
Yeah, especially when you're facing so many challenges.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we've talked about the people. What about the place itself?
Well, the district is primarily known for its neoclassical style,
Okay.
but you also find some pockets of late Italianate,
Okay.
which was popular a little bit earlier.
Yeah.
So if you were walking down the street back then,
Yeah.
you would see houses with like fancy decorative features,
Okay.
ornate doorways, intricate window details, maybe even patterns in the brickwork. That's late Italianate for you.
Okay.
Then you have the neoclassical style,
Yeah?
which is a little more streamlined,
Okay.
elegant.
Uh-huh.
And these houses often featured marble accents.
Like on the...
On the steps, maybe windowsills, even the basement.
Those are the famous marble houses.
Yes, they are.
They sound so unique.
They were a bit of a status symbol.
Really?
Yeah, adding those marble accents was a way for working class families to add a touch of luxury.
I see.
And to kind of show off a little bit their upward mobility.
So it's not just about looks, it's a statement.
Exactly, a statement about their rising in the world. But you know those marble houses?
Yeah.
They wouldn't have been possible without a little help from building and loan associations.
Okay.
They played a huge role in making homeownership
Yeah.
a reality for so many working class families.
So how did these associations work exactly?
Well, they were more like community-driven banks.
Okay.
You know, think of it like this. Neighbors pooling their savings
Yeah.
to help each other buy homes.
Yep.
It was a really clever way to sidestep traditional lenders,
Yeah.
who often weren't very welcoming to immigrants.
That's really smart.
Yeah, and the form mentions a guy named John Klima.
John Klima.
Yeah, he was a shoemaker and was able to buy a house on Chapel Street
Yeah.
thanks to a Bohemian Building and Loan Association.
So they were more than just money. They were about community empowerment.
Absolutely.
And we're just getting started with this deep dive.
Oh, yeah, there's so much more to come.
We still have so much to uncover about the lives and stories of the people
Yeah.
who made East Monument what it is. So stay with us.
Yeah, state.
There's much more to come. It's incredible how much we can learn about a neighborhood
Oh, yeah,
just from its buildings.
absolutely.
Like, it's not just about bricks and mortar.
Right.
It's about the lives and the stories that they hold.
Yeah, like each house has its own tale to tell.
Yeah. And this forum gives us a few glimpses into those stories.
Yeah, like take Joseph Shimeks, for example.
Joseph Shimeks.
Yeah, he was a real jack of all trades.
Oh, wow.
Organ builder, community leader, and even the publisher of the Telegraph.
That Czech newspaper we talked about.
Yeah, exactly.
He sounds like a busy guy.
He was really involved in just about every aspect of community life,
I bet.
including those Sokol societies.
Oh, yeah, those gymnastic organizations?
Yeah, the ones that were all about cultural preservation.
Right, right.
Well, the form mentions that they used to meet in Shimeks organ factory.
No way. So it wasn't just a workplace?
No, it was like a cultural hub.
Wow.
They'd hold dances, concerts, even Czech language plays.
All in the factory.
Right there in the factory.
That's amazing.
Must have been quite the sight.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, it really shows how these immigrants wove their culture into their new lives.
Uh-huh. They were determined to keep their heritage alive.
Absolutely, while embracing the opportunities of a new home.
And speaking of opportunities,
Yeah.
we can't overlook the role of industry in shaping East Monument.
That's right. The Forum highlights a thriving brewing industry
Yeah.
that popped up in the late 1800s, particularly along Gay Street.
It's interesting how we uncover this industrial history in what we think of as primarily residential areas.
Yeah, it reminds us that these neighborhoods were more than just places to live.
Yeah.
They were centers of economic activity, too.
I bet those breweries were the place to be
Oh, yeah.
after a long day's work.
You got to picture it right.
I'm trying to.
And those breweries weren't just about making beer.
No.
They were actually involved in community development.
Really?
Yeah, the Forum gives an example of VJ Shimek. You remember our multi-talented organ builder?
Yeah.
Well, he received a mortgage from a brewery owner.
Wow, so the breweries were pitching in too.
It shows you how interconnected everything was in this neighborhood.
Wow.
But it really brings East Monument to life are the stories of the families who live there.
Oh, yeah. Give us an example.
Like the Stetks family.
The Stetks family.
Yeah, they were a multi-generational Bohemian family.
Wow.
Who were really involved in the community.
I love those multi-generational stories.
Yeah, it speaks volumes about their commitment to both their heritage and their new home.
Yeah.
And then there's John Dubus,
Okay.
an amateur photographer who captured everyday life in the district.
It's like having a time machine.
Yeah, he documented everything.
Like what?
From the construction of St. Wenceslaus Church to the bustling shops and markets.
What a great record.
One photo that stands out is of Sophie Klima's grocery store.
Sophie Klima. Wait, was she related to John Klima?
That's a good question.
The shoemaker.
Yeah, the Forum doesn't explicitly say, but it's certainly possible.
Yeah.
But back to the grocery store picture. A small shop
Yeah.
with pyramids of canned goods, old-fashioned advertising signs, and a friendly shopkeeper greeting every customer.
Sounds like a real neighborhood hub.
Exactly, and Dubus captured that beautifully in his photos.
Wow.
Another gem is his shot of the Northeastern Meat Market,
Okay.
owned by the Perutka family.
What's so special about that one?
Well, it shows the entrepreneurial spirit of these immigrants,
Carving out a new life.
Exactly.
It's amazing how a single photograph can transport you back in time
I know, it's really something.
and make you feel like you're right there
Yeah.
on the streets of East Monument.
Beyond the visuals, I think what's truly fascinating about this neighborhood
Yeah.
is that sense of community that we keep coming back to.
It's not just shared ethnicity
No.
or language.
It's deeper than that.
It's a feeling of togetherness
Absolutely.
that seems woven into the fabric of this place.
You can see it in the building and loan associations, the Sokol societies, even the breweries supporting local businesses.
That's right.
And it's inspiring to see that sense of community extend to people from different backgrounds.
That's right. While we've been focusing on the Bohemian community,
Yeah.
the Forum also mentions other immigrants,
Right.
like the Germans and the Irish.
It was a real melting pot of cultures.
Wow. So we got Bohemian gymnasts,
Uh-huh.
German brewers, Irish families
And everyone coming together to build a life.
in this incredible neighborhood.
It really is amazing
This is why I love these deep dives. You never know
what you're going to find.
what amazing stories you're going to uncover.
That's right. History isn't just about grand events
Uh-huh.
and famous figures.
Oh,
It's about the everyday lives of ordinary people.
yeah. Their struggles, their triumphs.
Yeah, and the communities they created.
And those stories woven together
Mm.
create this rich tapestry
Uh-huh.
that tells us so much about who we are,
And where we come from.
and we still have more to explore.
Oh, yeah, we do.
We need to dig a little deeper into those marble houses.
Yeah, those are fascinating.
So stick with us because this deep dive is far from over. All right, so we've talked about the people, the industry, and those awesome pictures that capture life in East Monument.
Yeah.
But let's circle back to the buildings themselves for a sec.
Okay.
So we know the neighborhood transitioned from that fancy late Italianate style to the more simple neoclassical.
Right.
What caused that change?
Well, architectural trends always change, right? Like
Yeah.
fashion, what's popular one year might be out the next.
Yeah.
But in this case, it wasn't just about taste changing.
Oh, okay.
It also reflects the changing economic situation of the residents.
So you're saying like as people got more financially secure, their architectural preferences also changed.
Exactly.
Right.
Remember those marble houses?
Yeah.
They were like a perfect example of that, upward mobility.
Right.
As families moved up in the world, they wanted their homes to reflect that. So the neoclassical style was considered more elegant and refined, and adding those marble accents was a way to have a little luxury without breaking the bank.
So it's amazing how architecture can show us so much
Yeah.
about a community's values and aspirations.
Yay.
And speaking of aspirations, we can't forget about those building and loan associations
Well, yeah, they were vital,
that really help people buy homes.
especially for those Bohemian immigrants who might not have had access to regular banks.
Fred, imagine pooling your resources with your neighbors
I know.
to buy homes.
It's really a sign of their ingenuity and their dedication to community.
And it seems like these building and loan associations, they were more than just financial institutions.
They were.
They were like social hubs
You got it.
where people could connect and support each other.
The form says that members would often meet
Really?
to talk about not just finances,
Okay.
but local news and events, too.
So it was building trust and solidarity.
Yeah, and it reminds us that financial well-being is about more than just money. It's also about having a support system.
I like that.
And what's interesting is how democratic these associations were.
In what way?
The officers and directors were usually local artisans and businessmen,
Oh, wow.
not rich elites.
So it shows that this wasn't some top-down approach
You know,
to community development.
it was about everyday people taking charge of their own futures.
Yeah, working together to make things better.
For themselves and their neighbors.
Which is inspiring even today
Yeah,
as we think about how to make financial systems more equitable and accessible.
absolutely. But beyond the financial side,
Yeah.
what really stands out to me is that spirit of togetherness.
Yeah, that we see throughout East Monument's history.
Yeah, it's the thread that connects everything.
From the Sokol societies to the breweries, supporting businesses.
It's a reminder that community isn't just about living near each other.
Right.
It's about having shared values.
Yeah, mutual support.
Exactly, and a dedication to building something together.
And what's really cool is that this sense of community wasn't just for one group.
No, it wasn't.
East Monument had a whole bunch of immigrants,
Yeah, Bohemians, Germans, Irish.
all contributing to this amazing neighborhood.
It really shows that diversity makes communities stronger.
Yeah, when people from different backgrounds get together, they bring new ideas, perspectives, and talents.
And that makes a community lively and strong.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into East Monument Historic District,
Yeah.
I hope you've come away with a sense of wonder.
At the ingenuity.
Yeah, the resilience
And that community spirit.
that made this neighborhood so incredible.
It's been a real journey.
Yeah, learning about immigration, architectural changes, and collective action.
And you know what?
Yeah.
I challenge you to think about the stories waiting to be discovered in your own community.
Yeah, who knows what you might find.
Exactly.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning,
Yeah.
and keep diving deep.
Thanks for joining us.
On this journey through Baltimore's East Monument Historic District,